Good evening. My name is Richard Rawson, more commonly known as Dick. I want to welcome you to this special presentation, our first ever virtual program. Under normal circumstances, the program would have been live on April 13th at the Muncie Central Auditorium. The winners' pictures would have been taken and appeared in the newspaper, and the winners would have already spent their award money. Typically, there is a crowd of 300 to 400 people made up of students, family members, teachers, administrators at a live program, and they would be clapping and showing appreciation, and they would see the smiles, but we can't get that this year. Sometime during the evening, the MC would ask, how many people are here for the first time? They'd never been to an award program of CIE. And about half the hands would go up. At that time, you would be informed that this is our 28th annual Essay Contest Award Program and the 25th annual Personal Integrity Award. If you are one of those that would have raised your hand that you are attending for the first time, let me tell you how this group got started. As a boy, raised in a small town and in a school, not a country school, but it wasn't consolidation yet, we were taught that cheaters never win, and that in a free country, using the free enterprise system, it can only succeed if its inhabitants self-police themselves. I learned that people who try to cheat the system only destroy the system. In other words, cheaters never win. That phrase was ingrained into my heart and my mind, and you see in the newspaper or on television, any kind of news situation, that people are cheating all the time. Businesses cheat, athletes cheat, students cheat, pro players cheat. Even last year we had the baseball team cheat as a team, and they won the World Series. We have a real character issue going on in our country. I could not figure out why people had to do that. We live in the best country on earth, but it will not continue to be so if we can't, as people who live here, live by the rules. I wanted to do something about it, but I didn't know what one person could do to tackle such an enormous problem. At that time, I was enrolled in the Academy of Community Leadership program. One of the speakers towards the end of the semester told us about what was happening in Muncie in the mid-'80s. Muncie had a critical economic problem. There was a loss of 5,000 jobs from 1979 to 84, and unemployment levels had reached 16.9%. I think that'd be pretty good this month. So what happened? Some of our city fathers brought together a group made up of leaders from government, business, labor, and Ball State. They put together the collective heads together to come up with the program called Horizon 91. The program was a cooperative program in all facets of our community to stop the existing trend of economic decline. The program was credited, at least in part, for turning the economic climate around. At that time, I was a businessman, and we had very much been affected by the decline of the economy. but that program did help. So I thought, well, if it worked for economy, maybe we can try it in this. So in early 1992, I started to look around and put together a group of 12 to 14 people that were equally as concerned as I was. We met on a monthly basis, tossed around many ideas, and finally decided on an essay contest which would expose students to something that many of them had said they didn't even know what that word meant, integrity. Well, that's the story on how the committee got started, and the rest is history. We typically have over 1,000 entries from the city and county schools, and now we also select individuals whose lives exhibit good character. We bring them together so that the students can see who these people are and how they conduct themselves. Well, the secret of our success had nothing to do with how it started, but how the incredible people that have come together to join forces to make it a smooth running committee. And we pray that in at least some people, we will make a difference in their lives for the rest of time.
Good evening and welcome to the essay contest and the Personal Integrity Awards. And we thank you so much for the word from our founder, Mr. Richard Rawson. It is an awkward thing this year, and you know that as well as I know that. And yet this year there's something special about what we're doing. This program is going to go out on a YouTube channel and Facebook and be shared in many different ways. And so I'm welcoming people normally from the area of Delaware County, but this year we're welcoming grandparents, friends, family from all over. So we're very, very thankful for everybody who's taking part in this. And it's going to be a little different, but we still want them to feel very special. Every fall, the committee meets together and they establish a topic, and then at the beginning of the new year, then that is distributed to the schools, and they write the essays. The essays come in. There are 2 rounds of judging, and then top winners are picked. It's always a special privilege for the Committee for Integrity to be a part of that final judging and to see what the good work that the students have done. This year, it's a very, very special privilege for me to have joining with me today Mary Ann Stroh. Mary Ann is our essay coordinator. She's the leader of this effort every year in the schools, and no one knows how much time she actually spends doing this. And Mary Ann, as a committee, we are so thankful for all the work that you do. I gave a quick timeline, but tell us about some of the details and the facts this year from all these students writing.
This year, we in Delaware County have had 28 schools participating and 56 teachers submitting essays that their classrooms of children have written. We received 1,150 essays, which is a lot of essays. And if we didn't have our preliminary readers, who are a group of 20 people who help us with the preliminary reading, we would not be able to have this contest of this volume. So we're very grateful for them and for the teachers and the principals and all who are involved with the students.
It takes a lot of effort, and of course, tonight we're here to recognize the effort of these students. And we're so thankful for all the work that they have done. We recognize 2 winners from each school in each division. So it's elementary, middle school, and high school, and it is now our privilege to go through those names and recognize your students who have worked so hard on their essays. And also, we would like to thank the teachers and the principals. Let's begin in an alphabetical order from the schools. This year's winners from the elementary division. From Albany Elementary, our 2 winners are Eli Daughtry and Trinity Polson.
Their teacher is Mrs. Hottinger, and the school principal is Joe Schmaltz.
From Cowan Elementary, our top 2 winners are Lana Trimble and Bevan Lacey.
Mrs. Goggin is their teacher. Lyndon Schwartz is their school principal.
From Daleville Elementary, congratulations to Madeline Reese and Jocelyn Box.
Mr. Middleton is their teacher. They're both fifth graders, and Kim Beard is the school principal.
From East Washington Academy, congratulations, job well done to Catherine Enos and Shiloh Bunch.
Catherine's teacher is Mrs. Hernandez, and Shiloh's teacher is Beth Bueller. Jason Reese is the principal.
From Eaton Elementary, our top winners are Caleb Geringer and Brayson Ricks.
Allison Overholt is their teacher. Scott Blakely is their principal.
From Heritage Hall Elementary, our top two winners this year, Craig Ulrey and Annika Hamilton.
Craig's teacher is Mrs. Carpenter. Anika Hamilton's teacher is Mrs. Shea, and the principal there is David Stein.
From Longfellow Elementary, congratulations to Jackson Foster and to Linda Sims.
Jackson has Mrs. Reneker, and Linda has Miss Stahulik. The principal is Jerry Moore.
From Northview Elementary, our two winners this year, Latrell Robinson and Robert Peyton Wynn.
Latrell's teacher is Miss Gersha. Robert is Mrs. Ambler, and Heidi White is the principal there.
From Roriton Elementary, congratulations this year to Grant Darkovich and Colton Cruey.
Grant's teacher is Mrs. Bratton, and Colton's is Rachel Vance, and Amy Lumen is the principal.
From Selma Elementary this year, our top two winners, Riley Childers and Kiavana Stacy.
Riley's teacher is Mrs. Childers, and Kiavana's is Mrs. Case, and Leslie Moulton is the principal there.
From St. Lawrence School, Elijah Hart and Zayden McCoy.
Mrs. Cunnington is the teacher, and Sarah Jean Watson is the principal.
From St. Mary Catholic School, the elementary division, congratulations this year to Noelle Ernstberger and Cheyenne Punzel.
Their teacher is Amy Heath, and Elisha Schlebach is the principal.
From Westell Elementary, our two winners are Ethan Stafford and Cambry Hensley.
Mrs. Nauman is the teacher, and Tracy Schaefer is the principal there.
And our last elementary school participating this year from Yorktown Elementary, job well done to Anna Bowman and Addison Warmer.
Annison is taught by Mr. Kirchhoff, and Addison has Mrs. Jackson. Wesley Thornburg is the principal there.
Now, we've done something special this year. We've hired a professional group of clappers. And so they're not really professional, and we have not really hired them, but it sounded fun. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to stop for just a moment and recognize all of our elementary winners. And now on to the middle school division. This year, Cowan Middle School, Ava Gregory.
Mr. Rogers is the teacher, and Lyndon Schwartz is the principal.
From Daleville Middle School, congratulations to Jenna Brand and Kelsey Kahalikamo.
Aaron Parkinson is the teacher, and Kim Beard is the principal.
From Delta Middle School, job well done to Miles Enos and Hope Moles.
Mr. Hazelrig has taught Miles, and Mrs. Decker has worked with Hope Moles. Doug Marshall is the principal.
From Heritage Hall Christian School, Middle School, congratulations to Samuel Neese and Roman Freeney.
Mr. Carpenter has instructed both of them, and David Stein is the principal.
From Pope John Paul II Middle School, congratulations to Claire Hazen and Shay Punzel.
Hattie Eisenberg has been their teacher, and Elisha Schlabach is the principal.
From Southside Middle School, job well done to Aiden Smith and Chloe Miller.
Pam Dragoo has taught both of these students, and Craig Standish is the principal.
From Yorktown Middle School, job well done to Mason Moulton and Alicia Crouch.
Mason has had Tara McKnight, and Alicia has had Mrs. Anderson. Heath Dudley is the principal.
And from the YOC Youth Opportunity Center this year, 2 participants, we'd like to say congratulations to Jacob and also Juliana.
And Mrs. Rolanda Boggs is the principal there.
And those are our winners this year for the middle school. And now for our 3rd division, the high school division. From Delta High School, job well done to Elizabeth Marshall and Haley Blanchard.
Haley's teacher is Kip Omstead, and Haley's is Susie Fox. The principal is Chris Connolly.
From Heritage Hall Christian School, Elena Stonewall and Demetrius Hall.
Elena's teacher is Mr. Wallace, and Demetrius's teacher is Mr. Anderson. And again, David Stein is the principal there.
From Muncie Central High School, I'd like to congratulate Brooke Stallings and Trey Matthews.
Carter McClure worked with them as the teacher, and the principal there is Chris Walker.
From Westdale High School, we'd like to congratulate Chantel Saurus.
Her teacher is Pamela Meyer Fisher, and the principal is Kyle Mealy.
From Yorktown High School, job well done this year to Daryl Regal and Emma Day.
They're both students in Barbara Miller's class, and the principal is Stacy Brewer.
And finally, from the Youth Opportunity Center, we'd like to congratulate their 2 winners in the high school this year, Marissa and Braxton.
And again, Rolanda Boggs is the principal there.
Those are your high school winners from this year's contest. And now, Mary Ann, it's our privilege to recognize the top winners in each division.
Yes.
We mentioned earlier that we have 3 winners overall out of all the elementary students, 3 winners overall out of all the high school students, middle school, excuse me, and then the high school as well. And those winners are our final 9. And we're going to recognize them individually this evening, and we're going to read just a short portion of their essays. I'm so sorry, students, that we do not have the time or capability this year to read as much as we normally do. I think those of you watching would really, really appreciate these essays, but hopefully just in the few short sentences that we read and putting that together from what they're doing in their own lives, I think you'll be just as challenged as we are every year. So let's begin, first of all, with our top 3 winners in the elementary division. This year, earning 3rd place award in the elementary division, we would like to congratulate Addison Warmer. Addison's essay this year was entitled Giving Back to My Community. And she says, giving back to make our community a better place is important. I feel good about myself as I help others. They don't always know that it's me helping, but part of having integrity is always doing what is right, even when others don't see. Congratulations, job well done this year. Our 3rd place elementary school winner, Addison Warmer. This year's 2nd place winner in the elementary division, Catherine Enos. Catherine, in an essay entitled Integrity, had this to say: integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gain. It's an anonymous quote. But she ends with a quote from Mark Twain saying, "Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest." She says, if you have integrity, you must show it everywhere and all the time. Very, very nice job this year on your essay. Congratulations, our second place winner in the elementary division, Catherine Enos. And this year's top elementary winner, Anna Bowman. In an essay entitled Integrity Essay, she says, nobody can help everybody, but everybody can help somebody, from Denver Moore. Anna says, I want to be that somebody that makes a difference. In a Baylor University study, they said people don't become homeless when they run out of money, at least not right away. They become homeless when they run out of relationships. Understanding this, Anna puts eye care kits together to give away to homeless people. And in addition to the other things that she gets involved with, she ends her essay with a quote from Gandhi. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. This year's first place winner and a job well done, Anna Bowman. And now the top three winners in our middle school division. Our third place winner this year, Hope Moles. In an essay entitled A Bird Without Wings, Hope says, do what is right, not what is easy, nor what is popular, a quote from Roy Bennett. I think a community without integrity is like a bird without wings. It would never be able to thrive. It would always hop around and search for a worm that was already taken. And if it ever didn't take a leap of faith or attempt to soar, it would fall to the ground and never chirp again. She says a bird without wings wouldn't get too far, and neither would my community if I and many others didn't have integrity. This year's third place middle school winner, Hope Moles. In second place this year overall for the middle school, Shay Punzel. In an essay entitled, How Can My Commitment to Improving Our Community Show My Integrity? Shay says, to me, integrity means having good thoughts and actions, being honest, having strong beliefs. Our character is what we do when we think no one is looking, Shay quotes H. Jackson Brown, Jr. Shay ends the essay by talking about a quote from Zig Ziglar to express the overall idea of this year's topic. With integrity, you have nothing to fear, since you have nothing to hide. This year's this year's second place winner in the middle school, Shay Punzel. And our first place winner in the middle school division this year, Mason Moulton. Mason's essay is entitled Community Growth Through Integrity. And Mason says, I'm committed to improving my community socially, economically, and environmentally. He says, you'll see growth in the community. We need to be leaders and share positive thoughts with other people. We need to help people find suitable education and a decent job, and we all must be conscious of everything we do and how it affects the environment. And when leaders start showing integrity in our community, we will see exponential improvement in our lives. This year's top middle school winner, Mason Moulton. And now on to the high school winners. This year's third place winner in our high school division, Alana Stonewall. In an essay entitled How My Commitment to Improving My Community Shows My Integrity, Alana says the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. These are words from Coretta Scott King. She says, it all started with me with my parents, and they instilled in me the importance of giving to others. They taught me to be Christ-like and to do the best in everything that I do to my ability that God has given me and to follow his word. My school's theme this year is making a difference on purpose. It's easy to serve the areas I love. I love the church. I've enjoyed my years in 4-H. But character is exposed when we stretch ourselves and get out of our comfort zone. She says that she enjoys her walk, or team school walk, entitled Walk a Mile in My Shoes event. She concludes by saying, I want to look back and be pleased with the work that I've done for my community. I look forward to serving with integrity during my college and my new community, and pray that the verse Jude 1:22, and of some have compassion, making a difference, would apply to me. Job well done this year, Alana Stonewall. In the high school division, our second place winner, Emma Day. Emma says, it's a new day. Anything is possible. You have a choice. Will you make it a great day? Will you choose to get out of bed and affect the lives of those around you positively, or will you just choose to do nothing? One way you can affect your community is through kindness, Emma says. Another way is you can affect your community with open-heartedness. And finally, she wants to challenge us to impact our community, saying, I want to mention how much of the impact honesty can have in a community of integrity. Life has been hard in recent days for Emma, as in December she lost her mother. But she goes on in the essay to say that her mom is really the person that taught her all of these things. And she concludes by saying, life has been hard without her. But I know that it is now my responsibility to reflect her integrity and impactfulness each and every day. She showed me it was possible, and all that's left is for me to do it with integrity. And I think you shall. This year's second place winner, Emma Day. And finally, our top place winner this year in the high school essay contest, our first place winner, Elizabeth Marshall. In an essay entitled Impact Through Unification, Elizabeth says, in this modern day era, our country is unarguably more divided than ever before. While speaking boldly about one's beliefs in the face of peer pressure requires integrity, integrity is also evident when we generally consider opposing viewpoints that do not succumb to the urge to argue. By building conversational bridges, we can draw our community together. She talks about a recent lecture from Harvard professor Arthur Brooks. He says the biggest crisis facing our nation and many other nations today, it's the crisis of contempt and polarization that's tearing our societies apart. She quotes Billy Graham, who says, the world is watching how we walk and how we talk. We must have the highest standards of morality, ethics, and integrity if we are to continue to have influence. And Elizabeth closes her essay saying this: we must remember to prioritize integrity in our life. By having the integrity to demonstrate genuine care and understanding toward those with whom we disagree, we have the chance to begin building the bridges that will connect and ultimately change our communities. This year's first place winner in the high school division, Elizabeth Marshall. Mary Ann, again, I want to thank you so much for all the work that you do in bringing this together. And I think there's probably no greater reward each year than reading these essays and looking at these future leaders and people who are going to impact society tomorrow, and just seeing where their head and their heart is. And it's a real blessing. And thank you for all of your labor.
Sure. I'm happy to do it, that's for sure. And you truly believe when the children are thinking as they're writing these wonderful thoughts, that's where change comes.
Yeah, and I think a couple of people mentioned that. Did we mention, and I want the people at home to know that, of course, all the people who participate get the certificates, and then the top 3 winners in each division get plaques and money, but there's significant money here for the students based on the generousness of our donors and the people who sponsor us. Tell us about that.
That's right. Each school winner gets $20, and in the middle school and the elementary divisions, the third place winner receives $100, the second place $150, and the first place winner receives $250. But this year, for the first time, we changed our award amounts for the high school, thinking that it would help them to acquire their funds to perhaps go on to college. That's our hope. So the third place winner receives $250, $500 to the second place, and the amount that the first place winner for the high school division this year is $1,000.
That's just fantastic. And we'd like to, again, thank our sponsors for making that happen. We're not done yet, even though this has been a real encouragement for you and you've learned a lot. Usually at this point in the program, I exit and find my handkerchief and wipe out the tears because these people have impacted me so. But coming up next is our awards for the Personal Integrity Award. So stay with us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Adams. Want to say, number one, congratulations to all the winners of the essay contest that you just heard. Phenomenal. I got to read through a number of those, and they were such a blessing and such an encouragement knowing that kids, elementary on up through high school, are really thinking and considering what integrity is and how it works, not just in the community at large, but in my community, in my life. And so super encouraged to hear that. Want to continue on a few years after the essay contest was implemented, as you heard earlier. The idea came about we need to also recognize not just people and students learning about integrity and writing about integrity, but also about adults and leaders in our community that we see living out integrity every day. And so that's where the Personal Integrity Award came in. And we've been doing this again for a number of years, and it's been a great honor. And so what we do is we have had a nomination submission form either through the mail or online this year. And we have had a number of outstanding applicants. And so it's made our job really, really tough to work through who do we feel really is deserving of this honor. Number one, let me say thank you for all those who submitted a name of an individual who you know lives out integrity in their life, in their relationships, and so we don't want to slight that at all. But we had the monumental task as a subcommittee of coming up with awarding 3 individuals for the Personal Integrity Award. And so we have narrowed those down, and I'd like to present those to you now. Number 1, Jim Williams was nominated by Steve Murphy. And Steve says about Jim, we find that a former judge, an occasional teacher at Ball State, an occasional preacher, a busy attorney, a busy husband and father, and the president of the Muncie School Board, Jim shows that you can be productive and you can be successful while maintaining the highest ethical standards and reputation for fair and honest dealing. So number 1, we want to congratulate Jim on a job well done. Thank you so much. We reached out to Jim. He is aware that he won this, and he passed on, given our unique circumstances, he passed on a word of thanks that I will be reading now. This is from Jim Williams. He says, I would like to thank the committee for this award. Like most any recognition of this sort, there are many others whose love and support have been directly responsible for any good that I might have done. Certainly, my wife Jennifer, my parents and extended family, my teachers and professors, and my mentors in the law practice. I would be remiss if I did not specifically recognize my law firm, Defer Varan. Our firm has instilled a culture of integrity, community service, and philanthropy going back over 100 years. I'm just fortunate to be one of the vessels trying to carry that torch at this point in time. I also wish to recognize our community of Muncie and Delaware County. We are blessed beyond measure to live in a place where grace and generosity are the rule rather than the exception. With grace and a wish for peace and healing, I say thank you again, sincerely, Jim Williams. And Jim, thank you so much for that. Their next selection for the Personal Integrity Award is Kay Harrell. She was nominated by Kathy Hottinger. and I'm going to read a couple of excerpts from Kathy's nomination. As a longtime teacher and a coach at Westdale and also Muncie Community Schools, Kay set an example for students and players by demonstrating a strong work ethic and balancing high expectations with providing the support that the young people needed to succeed. As a member of her church, Kay serves on leadership boards. Kay hosts small group Bible studies. She organizes and runs outreach activities, and she volunteers for Vacation Bible School. As a community leader, Kay serves students by guiding them to become 21st century scholars and coordinates basketball leagues for middle school students. And this last sentence that Kathy Hottinger wrote down really spoke volumes. She said, everything that Kay does speaks of integrity. So Kay, thank you so much for leading by example there. Kay passed on a note of thanks. She said it's such a great honor to receive this award. I'd like to thank the Committee for Integrity Enhancement for selecting me. I also want to thank Kathy for taking the time to nominate me. I am greatly humbled to receive this award, knowing how many great individuals of high integrity there are in Delaware County. Congrats also to my fellow recipients, and especially I want to applaud all of the students and teachers involved in the contest. A very special congratulations to all the student winners. Thank you again so much for this award. Thank you so much, Kay, for leading by example. Finally, our third award recipient for personal integrity is Kenneth Glaub. He was nominated by Al Holdren, and let me just read a couple of excerpts that Al had to say about Ken. He said, Ken is the hard worker and the great lieutenant general of events in our community for the last 10 plus years. He's a great community servant that just gets things done without asking for credit or recognition of any kind. His attitude is, what can I do to help you? Whether or not he's leading the charge or in a servant's role, he continues to push the effort. Whether he's cracking eggs every Sunday morning for men at the Muncie Mission, or whether he's serving secret families or volunteering for FCA, his smile and get-it-done attitude pushes everyone involved to step up and really make it happen. Delaware County needs more Kens in it. He makes us all better. That was a note from Al Holdren, who nominated Ken Glaub. I reached out to Ken, and he was, frankly, a bit overwhelmed that he was even nominated. He was actually more overwhelmed that he received the award. And his response was, I'm not even sure how to say thank you for this. He was very humble, and he displayed gratitude beyond measure. And so Ken wanted to say thank you. He actually, if we would have been able to meet in person as we've done in years past, he had a list pretty long of a number of students that he wanted to attend, only to teach them that if you do the right thing, whether people are watching or not, eventually you will see good things come of it. And so what an example for us to follow. And so I'd like to say again, thank you to Jim, thank you to Kay, thank you to Ken for leading by example in our community. We wish you all the best. Thank you again. Well, thank you so much again for joining us this evening. The situation was not ideal. We look forward to rejoining you next year and getting to see all the smiling faces and the hugs from family members. We really are looking forward to that. We know that this was not the ideal situation, but thank you again for all that you've done. Again, congratulations to the students. Job very well done there. The top 3 winners will be listed on our website. And to that point, if you would like to know more about the Committee for Integrity Enhancement, you can visit our website or our Facebook page. We look forward to hearing from you soon. We wish you all the best until we can see you again next year. Have a good evening.